Let me first and foremost say, look, you want the market to go up for whatever your personal needs are. I want you to have the market go up. I want you to make money. I want you to have some success, maybe a lot of success in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Good for you. If you're one of the people right now that need the market to come down to get in a little lower, like me, I'll go ahead and say that. I wish you the best of luck. It's going to go one of our ways, right? 50-50. It's either going up or down. My indicator did say, though, that night before yesterday, 21st, so the 20th, it's extreme, definitely in an extreme high right now of overbought, market dumped. Not a lot. I mean, ETH was down 15% at one point, but other alts and things, 5%, 4%, 8%, whatever. Bitcoin, little bit. Maybe 2% at the worst point of the day, I think, maybe. Or 2.5%, I forgot, whatever. But I always come out here and I say, look, first of all, don't ever, never say it's already bottomed or it's already at the top. Don't do that. You know better. You know, especially again, when there's fake Tether, $2.5 billion worth, that can move the market any way these people who control it want it to move. You got to know, yeah, maybe we shouldn't say that. But some people do anyways, because again, they're looking analytically, charts. There's no 3,100 is the bottom. And in all honesty, it should be. It really should be. But never say never, because it might not be, okay? But I say, look, on, for example, TradingView. I got a guy here right now. Let's just go with it. BOTJE11. 24,153 followers on his TradingView. Clearly, the guy knows what he's talking about. Clearly. There's others I follow. But I go in, again, I read comments. Oh, how'd you not see that happening? I told, or some noob who happened to get it right. Oh, I told you we were going to dump. I told you it was going to go down yesterday. So, well, how come you don't have 24,000 followers? You know what I mean? And then they'll go follow somebody else who did get that dump right. And then they get the next one or two things wrong. They come back again. Oh, yeah. I don't understand. I think it's built into people's brain. For example, like, oh, I'm trying to learn math. I'm very, long story short, I don't know anything about math and I'm learning it. I got numerous teachers to teach me. You can probably find any teacher that's a math teacher and they're going to teach it to you. You're going to figure it out. Even the most basic part of it. Addition, subtraction, okay, we're going to get into multiplication and division next. And, we're not quite going into quantum physics or anything later, but, nothing crazy. Just math. But you could say, okay, yeah, I kind of like that teacher. I like the way they taught me a little better than that person's method. But ultimately, they could all get together and agree because they know math. 1 + 1 is 2. 4 + 4 is 8. 4 times 4, 164. Just kidding. 16? That was a little joke. 16? So that's that. When it comes to a market and trading and charts and it should do this, but it might not do that, but the pressure's here, so it really, really should go up, and then it doesn't. Everyone thinks, well, gosh, how'd you get that wrong? I mean, and they can't accept that someone who knows so much just got something wrong. If it was that easy and these guys were right all the time, would they even need someone to follow them? I mean, honestly, would any of us? We would just play I used to start off with I just maxed a credit card out $1,000. I'll pay it off soon because I got the secret sauce. And I'm going to, boom, 1,000 turns to 1,500, 2,500. Now I got 2,500. I'm going to double that to 5,000, 5,000. I'm going to double to 10,000. Oh, let me go and pay off the credit card now. There's $1,000 paid off. Throw the credit card away. I've got 9,000 left. Let's keep going. If it was that easy, anyone, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't even have to bring people in or anything. We'd all just say, oh, we know this method. Like, we know mathematics. We can see it. Well, let's just do it. You're talking about a market. Who's smarter than who? Who's going to make a move before someone else makes a move? What whale group just jumped in and dumped a bunch for whatever reason they know? What whale group jumped in and bought a bunch for some reason we don't know? You got to take this stuff into consideration. Which I will say, I'm still in awe, though, knowing all that. How the hell does this indicator I follow seem to, in advance, to see these things? I'm just going to throw it out there because I don't have an answer for that. But even it doesn't say how big it's going to be. Like I said, it's saying a dump's coming. We had a small little dump, nothing major. And then back today, it's again, we're sideways again. Little bit up, but sideways. ETH's not up 15% that it lost, whatever. Some of these that are 8% down yesterday aren't quite back to 8, whatever. It's a little green day. We're going sideways again. So I just want to share this guy's chart with you because look what he's saying. And this is one of these guys that has been yelled at a few times by people because, again, he got it wrong. Well, he gets stuff right too, and he knows what he's talking about. But if you look at what he says, a lot of violence, this was from yesterday, going on the past few hours, which I'll read it to you, where the bears took over with a lot of volume. During the last few moves up, the volume dropped slightly. So now it has become clear that the bears were exhausting the bulls and attacked when the buying volume was decreasing since the past few candles on the left. Glad I gave a small warning on the alts and Bitcoin just before the second bigger leg of the drop happened. Altcoins were just not moving along with each move up. Bitcoin did. Going to keep this story short, we have this big sell candle now, suggesting another wave down is very likely to happen. Can't say yet if this is the start of another bear trend on these time frames, he puts in quotes or parentheses, or that this is just a correction from the 3,700 to 4,050 rally. A lot will depend on the next drop, the volume of it and the size of it. If the volume is less than the drop we just had, it could stop in that green zone, which we'll go ahead and go back to the chart just so you can see what he's saying. The green zone, over here, talking about the green zone. If the volume is less than the drop we had, it could stop in that green zone and bounce up and down again. If it's the same or more, we could see a much bigger drop. Right, now he's giving you scenarios, if this, then that, right? That's what these guys do. They look at the chart. This could happen if this happens, but more likely, this probably is going to happen. But it doesn't mean it has to happen, and here's why, right? They try to explain both sides. But again, they're using data to say, well, here's why I think this other side's not going to happen. Like, we're going up, and here's why I think so. You know, this sign's telling me that sign's telling me that, this just happened, you know, and they make their forecast. But I want you to take a look at what he's showing here. So this was from yesterday, and he did this chart yesterday. So if you hit play, it shows you what the potential could be. So he's got this, you know, top and bottom channel here, and it's in there. And if we continued this over today, it's still in there. But he drew this big, you know, plummet down. That's potential. However, what if it's over here? What if it's about to come soon? Day, 2, 3 days. So it is a possibility. And if you look at his most recent comments, which I'll go ahead and read you, I do have to say OI, or open interest, I guess, on BitMEX only dropped a little bit, actually. It's already 565 million again. So now I'm not sure if this move was just to stop the rally, dump it, and being able to close longs in this area. So far, still no bounce. And as long as we stay below the 3980-ish area, bears are in full control. And as of this second, we're 3984. Again, oh, we're safe, we're safe. Don't do that. Don't think that. Where was that? Okay, so if we stay below 3980, and again, it may from when to when? How about today? What if it goes back down below today? But it was up for the last 8 hours above 3980. Now it's, you know, again, we were supposed to be safe at 4,000. We were inching up to 4,100. Nope, below 4,000. This major support area. Oh, sorry. It happened. That's why I say don't act like it can't happen, or, oh, we were safe now. No. That's why I just want to make, I'm keeping it very simple with this indicator. It is simple. Just log in a few times a day. Does it change? Yep. Oh, what does it say now? Oh, it says we're still extreme over bot. Okay. It did update recently, and I looked at it. It has dropped a little bit out of the extreme overbought area, but it's still an extreme overbought area. Just dropped a bit from where it was. It was like kind of healthily into the extreme, you know, on the 20th. And now that we had this little thing, whatever, so rally, whatever data coming in saying, oh no, we're not quite as extreme, but we're still extreme. Which is why I said, look, I'm waiting for this. I'm going to keep waiting until this indicator tells me otherwise. Again, I might be waiting. Some of us might be waiting. And all of a sudden, something happens in the market and it explodes higher. Uh-oh. It's a chance you take. It's a game you play. Games people play. You take it or you leave it. The dump that they say. Just don't make it right. If I promise you a bull flag, now would you believe me? Games people play in the middle of the night. That was freestyle again. That just came in. I think that was okay. That wasn't bad, right? I mean, I have a bull flag. If I promise you a bull flag, yeah, that kind of worked. I threw it in there. It kind of worked. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that one. You know, sometimes I say that. Just retract that. That was stupid. I think that was all right. I think that made you chuckle a little bit. I'm gonna keep that one. So anyways, let me just read it again. I'm gonna read you an expert's comments on this stuff because they're trying to figure it out. They were trying to analyze everything else, and someone's trying to analyze someone else's analysis, but it's just listen. You know. Again, open interest is back to its high from before the drop. I'm a bit surprised to see that. Does not really confirm that bulls have given up, so I'm less sure of another big drop. Also moving quite stable at the moment. I know it follows my blue line here to the point, but was expecting a bit more zigzag within the flag. This pattern on the left is something I have shown 2 other moments this past months. I tried to find them, but I couldn't. I will try to look tomorrow anyways. Those 2 other moments were also after a drop. Quite sure those were bigger. But instead of making a normal flag, it was like moving from one stage up to the next. Think there was even a 3rd stage just before a squeeze up would happen. Now when looking at the bounce, usually also a bit too strong after such a drop, and in hindsight, the drop was less severe than it looked while it was happening. Now when having a second look, I am less sure about it and have to rethink this a bit. And then his final comment from 14 hours ago. So he posted March 21st yesterday. The update was 23 hours ago. Next update I just read was 15 hours ago. And the final update, in this comment I made a small mistake. Closing longs had to be closing shorts is what he meant. Comment, I do have to say open interest on BitMEX only dropped a little bit actually. It's already at 565 million again, so now I am not sure if this move was just to stop the rally, dump it, and being able to close longs in this area. So far, still no bounce as long as we stay above the 39.80ish. Bears are in full, below the 39.80ish. Bears are in control. And someone says, nice FUD, mate. How much did you get paid for it? 5 thumbs up. See, again, these guys get stuff right. They call it great, and then something happens. Isn't quite what they said. Oh, nice FUD, nice this, nice that. And because someone's saying, I still believe David's 5,200 goal, meaning Bitcoin. And I guess this guy's name is David. And he says, this drop may be China here. Here a folk P2P regulators walking panic caused by message. Yes. Why don't they work in the daytime and released at night, which means nausea? Message has always been about the price of a factor, but the enthusiasm of the retail is very high and pull the price back. I still believe David's 5,200 goal. So I guess that in some type of Chinese broken English, this guy thinks, yeah, I think we're going to 5,200. My indicator wouldn't suggest that. I'm just going to say that because it doesn't. Let's see. So here's someone else's chart. As he says, yes, bears are starting to show that they are still on the market. Yesterday was like a reminder, but this is not confirmed yet. I made 3 time frame analysis, and it should get confirmed on the 4-hour candle. Closed below 39.20. Bearish engulfing on the daily TF was the key sign, but let's see what we get from today's price action. I said nothing confirmed yet, and actually some altcoins made pretty decent climbs upward today, which could be a positive sign, but let's see. So again, what he writes or shows in his chart, we could have something like this, and then boom, down to 3,700 or so. Again, this is all technical stuff. what I like about my indicator, again, assuming this thing continues chugging along and working, I don't have to mess with this. I don't have to sit here and spend time and draw stuff and of course educate myself on doing it right, because I'm not the chart guy. You know what I mean? I'm not the in-depth chart guy. It'd have to take all this time only to find out, oh, I got that one wrong. My chart work was phenomenal, but I got it wrong anyways. The market, the bears came back in. The bad news bears came in and wrecked the market again. And again, all the top guys on TradingView getting wrecked by their commenters, people commenting. Yet their chart work was right. And then they all scream manipulation. So let's be fair, because a lot of the chart people, TA and whatever, as long as they're getting nailed another one, hey, we're up 15%, got that, nailed it, guys, yeah. As soon as their TA fails, even if they thought it was going to go down and it goes up, or it goes up and goes down, actually, either way, whatever it is, just the opposite. Oh, manipulation. Boy, they manipulated that. Can we get real for a second? Can we be honest with ourselves? Either it's always manipulated and you accept that, not sometimes, it's always going to be manipulated and is currently being manipulated at some level, or it's not at all. It's one, like, you can't have a somewhat. It's either it is or it isn't. So therefore, you can't say my TA work is the best in the world, and then you get wrecked, and you wrecked some of your subscribers in the process, because again, they're going to follow you because you're the smart guy. And then scream manipulation, oh, it's manipulation. You're playing in a game. You're playing the game itself. In order for you to play and say, hey, I want to play in that playground over there. All right, there's a warning sign at the gate. Outside this gate where you are, you're safe. No manipulation, no problem. The second you step foot in this gate, there may or may not be manipulation. And we take no responsibility for you playing in the game, right? So once you step in that game, trading crypto, you have to accept that there's more than likely manipulation and that it's always going to be there to some level. Now, again, with Tether, free Tether, printed out of nothing, be a little different if you had to use real money, but they use fake money to grab an enormous amount of crypto off the market that they can now put in and take out at any notice they want. They can put enough into that market, enough orders, that all the buyers in there waiting to get in will clean all of them out, and there won't be enough. They own that much crypto thanks to Tether. So they can also not play in the market, just hold off. Oh, we won't have any orders. And then the market will naturally start climbing because every one of us in crypto are playing this game, and it'll just start going until they say, oh, that's enough. Boom, nail them. Like what just happened. How many positions just got closed out yesterday because of that little move down? Wasn't that big of a move. I mean, again, ETH was down 15%, but not all of them were down 15. Some were just a few percent, some were 6, 7, 8, whatever. Bitcoin, couple percent at maybe the worst part of it. Like maybe the worst part of the day, I think it was down 2%. That was about as bad as it got, I think, for Bitcoin itself. Maybe 2.5, I don't know. So anyways, that's just a little update. My indicator is still saying, guys, sit tight. And I'm going to sit tight because of it. The guy originally thought, I think this might be, we may see another pretty hefty wave down. And then he commented later, well, I don't know now. Maybe not, but maybe. But if it does come, maybe it won't be as bad. Right? So you see how you get mind effed, even as an expert, this guy. My charts are telling me this, but it's not. And then, well, it is what it is. So little Friday crypto update. Again, stuff's back in the green a little bit here. We're not over $4,000 on Bitcoin yet. Again, that's supposedly the floor. That was the floor. We got to stay above that. The bulls are going to be in control. Up 4,050. Here we come. Almost 4,100's next stop. Nope. Boom. Sell off. Back down. Back down to crush the support level. That was important. And do you think it was just a bunch of guys like you and me and trading and doing that? No. Everywhere I was turning, bull market, bull market. You keep going, keep going. So my question, why did it fall? Why did my indicator trigger for that matter that it's going to fall? And then it fell. Because I think there's some big players behind the scenes that move stuff when they feel like moving it for whatever reason they feel like moving it for. And again, they've had $2.5 billion worth of free money known as Tether. And what's the news lately? Tether's backing off kind of. The new stable coins are coming online. Tether's going to kind of back off. You don't suppose, oh, job is done. You guys held the market down long enough for us. Thanks, Tether. You'll be exposed. You'll get in trouble. Just or kind of just quietly go away. That sort of thing. And then maybe we have a real market somewhat. And the thing can go on its bull tear at some point. But not until they're ready. Maybe not until they're ready. So in the meantime, I don't care. I'm going to keep watching my indicator to see what it does. You know, see what it says. I'm just going to look at the chart real quick. I was curious because I thought ETH, ETH actually pumped on the 19th up to $147 on one candle, one wick. Came back down to about 142. $137, $138, and it dumped down to about 132. So, just curious. Let's try that again. Hang on. Checking something. Let's do that one more time. About 5%. Yeah, I'm seeing about a 5% move. I wonder what, because I saw ETH was down like over what I thought was 13, 14, 15% I saw yesterday. Again, that was from there. That was the 19th. So if we look at the 19th, when it was about 140, it's only showing 6%. So maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with 15% on ETH. Maybe it was something else I was looking at that was down 15%. So I may have to retract that because it doesn't make sense. But ETH did pump to 147 on the 19th on one candle and then came back down to about 141, 142. But again, my thing was telling me that day on the 20th, market's probably going to go down. And it did. Just not as much as I would expect. Seeing the last one from the 23rd or so of February telling me get the hell out, we did. It dropped 20%. This thing went right back to that level when I said, guys, it's telling us a dump's probably coming. And then we only had a small dump. But again, as I said, it doesn't have to happen that day, the next day, the day after that. It could stay up there in that zone of overbought, way overbought, for days, a few days. Typically it does. And then you'd see a sizable sell-off. When I did that one from the 23rd, or when it told me that, it was already there for days. I just got access like the final day it was telling that. And I'm like, holy crap. This past history is telling me this is, man, market's probably, if I had to guess, market's probably going to dump pretty heavy duty. So I did a post on it. Sure enough, 20% wipeout. It's back to that level, was yesterday, or the 20th technically. And the 21st we had a little sell-off, but it wasn't huge. And it did push the number back down when I looked recently this morning. A little bit, but we're still in the extreme overbought area. So I may expect, honestly, if I'm just looking at the indicator, I would expect a bigger dump is still coming, like I've been waiting. That's just what I think, but you never know. If something changes and all of a sudden the market turns around and goes on a tear, I guess it did what it did. You know, it is what it is. But I'm watching the indicator. That's how I'm making my move right now. And I'm just sitting tight for the time being. Take care.